This podcast is brought to you by Reynolds & Reynolds, the industry leader in automotive technology. Learn how Spark AI, Reynolds' unified AI data layer, can help you unlock your full potential by visiting rey.com/spark-AI. That's rey.com/spark-AI.
Welcome to Daily Drive for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. I'm Jamie Butters, Executive Editor of Automotive News in Detroit.
And I'm Kellen Walker in Las Vegas. Today on the show, tariffs dent the outlook for global auto production. Nissan tells dealers there won't be any price hikes until June. And AutoNation hires a new marketing chief. Plus, Association for Advancing Automation President Jeff Burnstein talks about what's next for robotics in the auto industry. And the upcoming Automate 2025 show in Detroit.
Automate 2025 will be the largest robotics and automation show ever held in North America. It's just going to be a very special event for the industry.
Let's run through all the news you need to know to keep up in the auto industry.
Tariffs will thwart sales and production of light-duty vehicles across the globe for at least the next 2 years. That's according to new analysis from S&P Global Mobility. The firm forecasts broad downgrades, with North America expected to be the hardest hit. The Data and Insights firm predicts that light vehicle production will slide by 944,000 cars this year and by 778,000 in 2026. Then the North American market will stay flat at about 15.5 million vehicles in 2027. The projections reflect both specific auto tariffs and reciprocal tariff impact. They mark the first from S&P Global that incorporate anticipated tariffs on U.S., Mexico, Canada agreement compliant parts. The White House has not levied those tariffs yet, but they're expected to be announced by May 3rd.
Nissan is telling dealers that it won't raise prices to account for tariffs until at least June 2nd. Japanese automakers also considering cranking up output at its 2 underutilized U.S. assembly plants. In an April 15th memo to retailers, U.S. sales boss Vinay Shahani said that Nissan has nearly a 3-month supply of tariff-free vehicles. He said, quote, "While we know these new vehicle tariffs will have an impact on affordability for car buyers over a long period of time, we will try to minimize that impact on Nissan buyers." Nissan aims to increase output for its 4 core utility models, the Rogue, Pathfinder, Murano, and Frontier, that together accounted for 48% of Nissan's U.S. sales last year.
A former Nissan exec is getting back into the automotive business. Former Vice President for Marketing, Communications, and Media in North America, Jeremy Tucker, will join AutoNation as its Chief Marketing Officer. He comes to the retail giant after departing toy company Spin Master last summer, where he served as Global CMO and Head of Franchise Management. Tucker previously served as CMO of Planet Fitness, a job he took in late 2019 after leaving Nissan.
An AI startup, Wave, has tapped Japan as the next location in its global expansion. The company announced the opening of a test center in Yokohama today, making Japan its 4th market after the UK, US, and Germany, as it looks to work with major automakers in developing AI-powered autonomous driving technology. Wave raised a record $1 billion last year in funding from investors led by SoftBank and including NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Uber Technologies. Tune in tomorrow for a conversation with Katie Fisher, Wave's Vice President of Commercial and Operations. And those are today's headlines. So, Jamie, tariffs dent outlook for global auto production, and North America is expected to get hit the hardest. Will this be our new normal for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, it really is. Everyone's trying to get a handle on what the future is going to hold. And a lot of it depends, how steep are the tariffs? Do they stay where they are? Do the higher reciprocal tariffs come back when the parts tariffs come in? It's a lot to factor in. And then what will be the ripple effects of those? It's one thing to have the direct effects on how much more is a car going to cost and how many fewer Americans are likely to buy a car at that price. But there's a lot of moving parts. So we're seeing a lot of different estimates, a lot of different forecasts as everyone tries to get a handle on it. The one thing that's consistent is, the arrow's pointing down. It's going to be a smaller market worldwide and in the U.S. and North America. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Gotcha. Coming up, Jeff Burnstein, president of the Association for Advancing Automation, joins the show to talk about the future of robotics in the auto industry and the upcoming Automate 2025 show in Detroit. That's next on Daily Drive.
As your business gets more complex, it feels like productivity can't go any higher. You need a way to move forward to a future where you don't have to start every interaction from scratch. You don't have to search for actionable information. You don't have to manually pull data to make decisions. You need a future where the complex is made simple and you can do more with less. How do you get there? It all starts with a spark. Unlock your full potential with the next generation of automotive dealership technology that actually does some of the heavy lifting for you by texting leads, transcribing calls, making data-backed recommendations, and boosting your overall productivity so that you can spend your time and energy on what truly matters, selling cars and growing your business. Spark AI, Reynolds' unified AI data layer, can empower your dealership to operate more efficiently and effectively than ever before, so you can do more, sell more, and make more. To learn how Spark AI can help your dealership reach its full potential, visit rayrey.com/spark-AI today. That's REYREY.com/spark-AI to learn more.
Welcome back to Daily Drive. I'm Jamie Butters with Kellen Walker. The automotive industry and the robotics industry have been intertwined for decades, since GM installed the first modern robotics system in 1961 inside a die casting plant in Trenton, New Jersey. Now the auto industry is moving into a new era of automation, with AI reshaping manufacturing sites across the globe and humanoid robots beginning to show up on factory floors. The future of robotics in the industry will be on full display in Detroit next month at Automate 2025. Keynote speakers include Deepu Talla of NVIDIA, Amir Paul from Schneider Electric, and Brad Holmes of the Detroit Lions. Jeff Burnstein is president of the Association for Advancing Automation, which is producing the show. He joins me now from Southeast Michigan to talk about it. Jeff Burnstein, welcome to Daily Drive.
Thanks, Jamie. I'm delighted to be here.
You've been president of the Association for Advanced Automation for quite a while, and robots seem like they've gotten so much more advanced. I see them in assembly plants more than ever. I was just down at the new Hyundai plant opening in southern Georgia. A lot of automated guided vehicles and welding robots and all this. It was really highly automated. They said it was twice as much as their otherwise most advanced plant. Is that something you're seeing just kind of all around? What's the state of robotics these days?
Yeah, the state of robotics has really changed quite a bit since I got involved 4 decades ago in the industry. You're seeing robots doing a wide variety of things that I don't even think we imagined back then. It was about 70% automotive. And again, these were robots that were behind fences to keep people safe. And now we have robots in factories, whether it's automotive or other industries, that are working side by side with people. And you mentioned the autonomous mobile robots that are moving around as well. So the form factors have changed, the numbers of applications have changed, and the amount of robots out there have increased dramatically.
You have a big event coming up in Detroit next month. Tell the audience a little about Automate 2025.
Automate 2025 will be the largest robotics and automation show ever held in North America. We have over 850 companies that will participate, occupying all of Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. And we expect over 40,000 people to register for the event. It's a tremendous lineup of free talks as well as a paid conference that accompanies the conference. Number of thought leaders there talking about all the hottest issues related to AI and humanoid robotics. And it's just going to be a very special event for the industry.
You mentioned AI. How does AI work within automation? How does it help robots work better? Are they necessary? Do robots have to have AI in order to work efficiently?
Robots don't have to have AI, but AI can make robots smarter and more capable of doing the tasks that they're assigned to do. You can see this a lot in warehouses, for instance, companies like Amazon and Walmart and Target, getting the right packages at the right time, at the right place, And of course, the mobile robots moving them around quickly and getting them to our homes quicker. So these are advances in AI have changed things quite a bit, as well as what it's doing in terms of simulation. You can simulate all of the activities of the robots and then see them enacted on the plant floor. I think this is the most exciting time since I've been involved in robotics to see all these advances, not only in robots, but in the AI as well.
A lot of the coverage in the industry, of course, is about the tariff policies and the president's aim to get more manufacturing to the US. And there's also been some variety in expectations about job creation. If this manufacturing does come back, how many jobs will it really bring? Because there's kind of a labor shortage here in the US. And of course, manufacturing is just more advanced. How do you look at the role of robots and people in modern manufacturing?
Well, I think people are still the most important element. I want to make that clear up front. Robots are tools to enable people to do their jobs better and make our factories more productive. However, there's no way we can reshore a whole bunch of manufacturing if we're not doing it in automated facilities because these plants are going to have to stay globally competitive. You need the best technologies, robots, AI, and the rest. And I feel like the shortage of labor is actually going to make it even more difficult. So while we're talking about building plants and bringing more automation, we ought to also be talking about investing in workforce training and developing the workforce of the future.
Not the same jobs as as the factory jobs of the past.
That's true. They're not the same jobs. Hopefully, they're better, safer, and higher paying jobs, but they require different skill levels.
Where do most of the robots today come from?
Most of the robots are manufactured in Japan or Europe. More and more are coming out of China. China has a national strategy to become not just the world's largest adopter of robots, which they are and have been for a while now, but they want to be the largest supplier of robots as well. It's one of the reasons they're leaning so heavily into humanoid robots, is because they feel like it's a newer area and they can jump out to a lead, which they appear to be doing.
Whenever automotive news writes about humanoid robots, it's almost always about Tesla. It's become such an important part of their business model. And I don't know how comfortable you are talking about specific companies like that, but they've really been a leader in automation within factories and how they build their cars. But now they really want to automate driving and bring humanoid robots out into the world, into people's homes or other factories and stuff. Is that something that the industry broadly is pursuing, or is Tesla kind of on an island with that stuff?
Oh, not at all. I mean, there are many humanoid robot companies now, and I would argue that several of them are a lot closer to having a humanoid robot that's going to be widely adopted than Tesla, based on what little I know about Tesla. But certainly the predictions and the optimistic future is being presented by Tesla. But when you talk to other humanoid robot companies that are in the US, they understand what the challenges are here. They all believe this is coming. The question is how quickly. And one of the big issues right now is safety. You're not going to be seeing humanoid robots at scale around people until they're safe enough, whether it's in a factory or in our homes. You certainly don't want a humanoid in your home right now if it's not safe enough to be around your child or your grandmother. That is a key element. And none of the robot companies, none of the humanoid robot companies, yet have a robot that's safe enough to really be around people.
But we are seeing some smaller mobile robots. Again, referencing the Hyundai plant, they've got the partnership with Boston Dynamics, and they use that robot dog Spot to move around and check the quality of the metals or the weld spots. Those are getting to be more common as well, even if they're not human shaped.
That's correct. There are more products like that out there. But when we're talking about humanoids, we're talking about something that's basically our size, that has two arms, that either walks on legs or is on a mobile base. And on a mobile base, there's probably a chance to be using them right now safely. But the ones that are walking, the challenge is that if the battery fails, for instance, they fall over, they could fall on somebody. What if they're carrying something heavy? So that's one of the challenges. Whereas maybe that's less of a problem on a mobile base because mobile bases already exist in plants and are moving autonomously around safely. So you could see a world in which that might be a better application right now or a better approach immediately. And there are companies doing that as well. So it's not all bipedal. But if, again, think about it in your home, a robot walking upstairs carrying something, loses power, falls on somebody, that's a real concern right now.
Absolutely. Are those kinds of humanoids going to be on display at Automate?
We'll have some humanoids. In fact, one of the leading companies who's working on the safety issue is Agility Robotics, and they will be at Automate, yeah.
All right. Something new and different for people to see. Jeff Burnstein, president of the Association for Advancing Automation, also known as A3. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Daily Drive for today. I'm Jamie Butters.
And I'm Kellen Walker. Thanks to Automotive News executive producer Jake Neer, as well as our own Pete Bigelow and Urvash Kakaria for their reporting for today's podcast. We also had reporting from EJ Schultz of our sibling publication, Ad Age. You can get the latest news on robotics, tariffs, and everything happening in the auto industry at autonews.com.
Come back tomorrow for a conversation with Katie Fisher, Vice President of Commercial and Operations for Wave.
We're thrilled to be able to share that Nissan will be the first to target deployment of our technology onto their vehicles starting in model year 27, which will be here before we know it.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show and the topics we covered today. Send us an email at dailydrive@autonews.com or leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2774. And if you enjoy the podcast, remember to like, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.